Gajillion. A whole gajillion.
Gajillion and a half, actually.
This is Ouch My Wallet, hosted by Robert Simmons, a production of the TFYLP Network.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ouch My Wallet for July 8th, 2020. I'm your host, Rob, and with me today is Mr. Rick.
I am
Rick.
happy to be here.
We also have with us a rare guest, Mr. Michael Swift.
What's up, everybody?
You don't see Michael too much, but he's been with the cast, I know way before my time, before Paul's time, too, I'm pretty sure. I don't know about before Rick's.
He was before me.
I was on the show before it was TFYLP, back when it was called Geek Existence Transformers.
Whoa.
I'm so glad we changed the name.
And last but not least is Mr. Paul.
Bringing the pain tonight, guys. Just telling you now, and I can't wait to share some ouchy wallet stuff.
Nice.
You know what? We were comparing sizes before, to see who was the larger man. I told you I got some sealed G1, butter.
That's great.
As long as you're going to cut the tape.
Maybe we can.
Oh, we're not cutting the tape on that.
Maybe we can sword fight.
It doesn't.
Scissor fight.
Doesn't matter what I cut. Nobody watches that show anyway.
Yeah, this is Ouch My Wallets, where we talk about our goodies we've gotten recently and how much it has hurted our wallets typically. And we often...
And you, the viewer, gets to guess which one of our wives knows our secret. It's not mine.
It's not mine because I don't have
I
one.
don't keep secrets from my wife. Thank you very much. We have a budget.
It's Paul's wife.
It's Paul's wife. By time. I'm gonna
By process of elimination.
I'm gonna message her on Facebook right now. You're in trouble.
I'm sure she's pretty aware of what's going on here in this house.
Honey, don't go to the basement. You do not allow down there. Just trust me.
Don't get the mail today. Don't get the mail today.
All right.
Now that we're both home, I run at 10 o'clock to the door. Make sure I hide everything that comes in the mail.
For any listeners, this is not solid relationship advice. Do not listen to this or take heed of it. Would highly recommend against that.
So, Rick, you always get stuff at 10 a.m.? Is that pretty on the nose every day?
What? Yeah, yes. Don't post my address.
Sure. Well, I'm expecting a package. It said it was coming today, and it still hasn't switched over, and it might happen in the middle of this show. And if it does, that would be awesome.
That'd be fun.
That would be great.
Our mail doesn't get here till doesn't run till 5 p.m. lately.
Oh, that would drive me crazy.
A couple years ago, it used to be more around 1 or whatever. It works nice though for when people buy random crap on eBay, because it's really easy for me to get it out that day. Because I work from home, so I can take 5 minutes at lunch to package up anything that's that might have sold or whatever. But other than that, it's generally takes forever. Yeah. All right. So who wants to kick us off tonight? You want to go, Mr. Swift? Since
I suppose I can.
you're the.
Let me put the toys down and play with.
Get
All right.
Swifty.
Show us what you got.
So I'm trying to decide where to start.
Disqualified.
I'm gonna start here because it's the most likely.
Oh, since you haven't been on the show in a while, what we usually do is we show one figure at a time. Or unless it's just closely related or it's packed, and we just make rounds, and everybody going through.
Right. And each round we take another piece of clothing off.
Rick keeps trying to make that
Well,
show
it's good
happen.
I put on a few extra pairs of
Whoa,
shorts.
I see something big. Well,
so it's not the whole entire figure. I just opened it today, but I got in the DNA upgrade kit for the SDCC Optimal Optimus. And so I busted him open today, put the stuff on today, played with him a little bit, and I don't know if it was worth it.
So tell us what all actually comes in the kit, because I'm not familiar with the kit.
So it comes with larger wings. It comes with guns, swords. It comes with these pieces back here that would form the wheel in his vehicle mode. Because if anyone doesn't know, the original toy obviously has two modes. It has a flight mode and a tank mode, and the tank mode was omitted in the Power of the Primes release. So it adds the wheels here on the bottom. The wheels didn't exist. So you could fake out a little bit of a tank mode with them when without the upgrade, but this gives them a proper tank mode. And then it also extends, I don't know why, it extends these barrels just a little bit. These are whole new pieces, but they're not much longer than the original pieces. And you lose some of the sticker detail.
So did you get both upgrade kits? Because there's two, right?
There is. I have the other one. It just hasn't been fulfilled yet. They've only fulfilled the hands and the... Because the original came into two parts. It was like hands and the arm guards and the wings, I think. And then the other part was like the wheels and stuff to make the tank and the guns and the swords.
Yeah,
that's a lot of parts.
It is a lot of parts. Luckily, they all just snap on. There was no nothing you had to really do.
No pin taking out.
Yeah, none of that. They all just snap onto the toy. You just pop off the old wings, pop these on. The biggest thing I think was worth it was the wings. His wings were so stupid small. They looked awful.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, I got the upgrade kits for the regular one for the Optimus.
Is that like a $50 upgrade kit or what?
60.
Okay. I mean, as far as upgrade kit goes, that's reasonable for as much crap as that is. But
yeah,
but that's as much as the toy.
Yeah.
I don't go into upgrade kits mode that often, but that's usually how it is. That they're like, I got this Hasbro figure, it was only $20-$30. Now I'm going to slap $30 add-on kits to make it decent.
Yeah, I guess
so.
Yeah.
Speaking of upgrade kits, I've got this the Danae upgrade kit for Cybertron Optimus, and I still haven't opened it. I'm kind of disappointed because it's just like legs and two weapons that he didn't even have originally.
I mean, you knew that before you bought it, right?
So I know. I'm just looking at it now. I'm just like,
hey,
is it really going to change it that much?
Don't steal Swift's thunder. This is his moment.
No, so this is the first time I've ever bought like an upgrade kit for a figure, and I sort of did it on a whim because I had said in the Discord that if a company, if Cara or another company releases a bunch of the Matrix Busters, I would buy them all, and then DNA Designs went and revealed a Matrix Buster, and so I was like, I'm gonna order that, and I'll also just order those upgrade kits while I'm here.
So you're not too well.
And yeah, so I don't know. It doesn't. They don't feel as quality as I want them to feel.
The color match looked good, at least through a webcam.
The color match is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, so let me pop off.
And I assume other than like the weapons or whatever, I assume it can all stay attached while you're transforming it.
I think only the wheels for the front of it have to come off because they sort of slot into the base toy. They sort of just slot in anywhere just to work as weapon storage. But yeah, the gold is pretty close. That's the I don't know, leadership pimp cane or something like that. I don't know what exactly it's supposed to be. The gold's pretty close. And the gray is pretty spot on. The black is pretty spot on. So it's not too bad color wise. It definitely matches. I just don't know if it was worth $60 to upgrade it.
Yeah. I think that toy, like, I only have the base version of that toy. It could have been so much better if they'd made the little Optimus Prime part detach. Like, it just being like a backpack hanging off there that you can't just, pop off. If it had just some friction nubs instead of I think it's got a pin through it. I think that toy would have been a lot more interesting, but whatever.
I knocked everything else down. But, yep, that's that one.
Cool. All right. Mr. I only have one thing tonight, so I'm going to wait till the end of the first round to go. So, Rick or Paul, who wants to start getting out the measuring tape first?
I'll go.
Go.
Oh. Hey, be my guest.
I'll let Rick be the follow-upper.
I hope you're a tough act to follow.
Home team advantage is what you got there. So, this just came out in Japan, and it's weird, but I got these little dudes, which this came in a magazine, and the magazine is actually kind of more fun than
already
the toys.
Like the magazine,
but this Megatron, this is a special deco of the Last Night Megatron.
So the only difference is the gold paint, right?
It's black and it's got special decos. There's a Decepticon symbol on the side.
Our audio listeners, that's the Legends version.
It's a small Legends version.
That one, Paul?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
And so I don't think the Optimus is special.
That's so bad.
But I hate this toy. But they actually packaged 2 of these Legends toys with this magazine, and the magazine's it's just like a promo, kind of like It's all Transformers stuff. It's called the Fan Book 2020, and it's got some wild stuff going on in here. It's like basically for kids, and it's sort of like there's like mazes and find it, like Where's Waldo kind of games, but it's all made of like Transformers, like visual assets. Like so like this page, you're supposed to like find Megatron and Bumblebee and Optimus in this big cluster of images. It's not hard. it's right there. But my favorite one is this page where it's like, so they show all these robots on the side here. They're like,
a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so on the side here, there are all these stock images of toys. And it's like, which one of these toys isn't being spun? Isn't being spun into oblivion? I don't know.
It's the dumbest activity for an activity book.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
If you know anything about TikTok, this is like the spinny shrimp video meme where they make a squishy sound. I don't know. It's stupid. There isn't much in here, but it's like, find the parts of Devastator, stuff like that. It's dumb. There's a puzzle. There's some kind of cool stuff in here though. Like this is some sort of visual game, but this is like the entire Studio Series toy line, like I don't know, on a page. And someone on Instagram pointed out that this is the first like toy photo of Topspin.
Huh.
I guess, before it's been like officially revealed.
It's got Cliff Jumper in there too.
Yeah, which I believe that one has like been. I've seen it online recently. But Cliff Jumper's right next to him. But that's the only thing that was like kind of interesting. It's a stupid thing. You buy the magazine on Amazon, you get the toys, and they're just
awesome.
Slightly different decors.
Is it like a $20 magazine or whatever?
Yeah, I think after shipping it was like 20. I bought 3 of them just so like maybe I could, mitigate the shipping cost or something. But
do you want to sell me one?
We'll see.
Oh.
I don't like selling stuff to friends, and I don't make my money.
I understand that point of view, and I'm the type of guy that says I understand that you put the time and investment into it, so I'm okay with a bit of an upcharge.
I don't even know what I paid for it, so we can talk about it offline.
Besides, Rick's not going to pay for it. His wife is going to pay for it, and she doesn't mind paying for things she doesn't know about. It turns out. So.
Hey, that's slightly true. Come on,
I'm piecing that together from
Come
comments
on
you've made on the shows.
Come on. It's a good thing she doesn't watch this show.
Yeah. Anyways, I know this isn't that exciting, but this is this could be a hard to find variant.
Yeah,
it's
like,
Japanese.
I understand that. We're on the same wavelength.
It's cheap. It's cheap for now, but this would be the thing that the Japanese guys would have a pile of them at BotCon, and when it's time, and then they would never have them again.
What?
After the first year?
It feels familiar, but
Con.
Yeah.
Do we have a censor?
Speaking of Japanese,
what you got?
You are a tough act to follow, but I'm going to go in a bit of a different direction.
Real quick, here's the box. It's nothing special. Done.
Too bad.
Get to it!
Say if Peter or Christian were here, they'd be able to name it. I can never name them. I know what it is, but
Getsue. Yeah, so I actually have the Victory. Is it Victory or is it? Yeah, it's the Victory box set. Where they're all in the Victory box, the white boxes. So this is my first time owning the original release box.
Nice.
Yeah.
I assume is this one of your sealed collection?
This one is not sealed. Okay. No, that one I'm saving to the end.
Okay. Oh. So does that one have all his cool paperwork and everything with it? I love.
He's got all his little pegs and clips and paperwork and everything.
So I have the Diaclone version of Raiden, and it was in a gift set, and I was hoping Peter look at something about fists, and I was comparing mine to look at it because it's what I had, and it turns out there are notable differences not only on the parts but the figures themselves between the Diaclone versions and the Transformer releases. Like the fists, I think, are actually a little different, and then one of the train bots in the middle, and I don't know if it's the blue one or not. I'm trying to see where mine is on the shelf to see where the legs go, but there's a part in the middle of mine I realized was broken, and for the Transformers release, they've remolded that piece completely. It's whatever. So it was just interesting that if you're into that, hunting down, Master Force, lots of times, for semi-layman collectors, the Diaclone and the real one can look the same, but it turns out there's actually some mold differences in some of those robots.
It's that's weird because I was setting up my G1 loose case the other day. I'm finally into the place where I'm setting up my loose stuff, and I noticed I have a variation on the plastic wheels Rodimus. So I have two plastic wheel Rodimuses, and the fan that goes on the back, the spoiler, are two different shapes.
Really?
Whoa.
It's like a V shape, right? And there's a little crest in the middle, a little relief. And one is wider than the other, but they're both plastic wheels. And then I'm setting up my loose Constructicons.
You're breaking so many hearts right now.
And I noticed I have two different scrappers. There's a standard scrapper with the pegs that when you lift up the shovel, it pushes the pegs down. But I have one that has a bar going across it, connecting both pegs.
What?
Huh.
That's why I love Transformers. 30 years, 40 years later, I'm still discovering new things.
Wow, I've never seen that. You have to take a picture of that. That's cool. I was gonna say, Rob, I'm not surprised the Raiden's different because Devastator, like Construction Robo, I got the box sets a few years ago and I opened it up and I was like, holy shit, there's all sorts of different parts. Very little things that aren't on Devastator or it's just really bizarre.
Really?
Strange things that they simplified for the Transformers release.
Right. And then you compare the G1 to the G2, like the G2 Constructicons and the G2 Jazz, and all the faces are remolded.
Huh.
All the faces are completely new. They look just a million times better on the G2 versions.
I had no idea. I've owned both of those. I thinned down on my G2 a bit, but yeah, Zaldron's saying he's glad he didn't go after variations, but that is a surprisingly deep hole that most of it's not even documented.
Oh my god.
Like
stamps versus circle versus numbers on fist. I was telling someone the other day, my buddy Jax, about all the different variations on Jetfire. He's like, "Oh yeah, I've got all three." I'm like, "3?" Child. He's like, "Yeah, I got the Robotech version." I'm like, "Okay. What about the different nose cones, the different shoulder pins, the different landing gears?" He's like, "Oh, and all the different ears. There's like 3 different ears." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm telling you, this is why I love Transformers. I will collect for the rest of my life and never have it all."
I mean, I'm sure that,
and that's the beauty of it.
and you're just talking about the toy difference. I'm sure everything has some sort of packaging variation, just because the line was ran a little differently. You know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure every G1 figure has a variant.
Yeah.
And not just packaging.
Yeah, because I mean, they were just churning that stuff out, and so they had to make it at different places, and it was like, yeah, good enough, it's close, whatever.
I was thinking of you today, Paul. Did you see the new Earthrise Optimus variant?
I don't think
So
so.
it's Earthrise Optimus, but the ones that are coming out now have the dead Optimus head on it in the G1 Optimus Prime colors.
Like with the busted up.
Yeah, with the busted up head. At some
What?
point,
It's not being faked.
Yeah.
at some point, they switch the mold.
I mean, Michael brings up a point. Is
Oh
it
my
just somebody
God.
faking it, or is this like
I don't
package?
think so.
That's
There's so many variations on that Skywarp Thundercracker set that I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I found like 4 already, so it's like, what?
I know I saw somewhere they were
there's a
swapped in places.
Well, if you remember, someone found a Earthrise Starscream with the Skywarp screaming head, like well before we had ever seen that gift set.
Yeah, and we all it was originally dismissed as someone just faked it, but
I mean,
it turned out to be the actual sculpt of the Skywarp head.
Yeah, I mean, so it was likely real, but it was definitely just like probably a one-off or very rare mistake.
My guess is that sounds like when they ran the mold, they made it all, and they're like, just throw those heads away and pop this one on, and somebody grabbed the wrong one because it's an assembly line. It's easy to do.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Those kids don't know. Those little kids making the Transformers, they don't know.
All right, so I'm going to go on that note to my one and only purchase. It has been slow for me lately, just because I don't buy too much Hasbro stuff, but this isn't
It's been slow for everyone I'm on.
Yeah. It has been, like I said, last 2 weeks didn't happen, and but we got people for this one, so good times. Anyways, I've been looking at this for a while, and so I finally decided to pick it up, and I grabbed it off of eBay. It's a Toy World's Bulldog, which I don't know, makes some tank thing, which it has a distinction of Transformers that are tanks that are actually a tank. Because so many would get like, oh, it's an H tank, which to my knowledge doesn't actually exist, but imagination.
That was the Indiana Jones tank.
Yes, because it even got the little part coming out the side. I was debating whether or not I wanted this in robot mode or tank mode, and it just so ended up back in tank mode, as I've been playing with it back and forth. He comes with some parts like a brick wall. Because of course he does.
As seen in the film.
So I think everything in this line is going to have a brick wall, but they've only released 2 figures so far, and a lot of repaints of those 2 figures. And then they've announced like 8 more. And he also comes with he's got like a hard hat, and he has a couple different faces. He's got a gas mask and a different gas mask. So neat stuff. And then he also comes with this, which is an arm. And I suspect if you're into this, you know what this is. And so this is Toy World like FS01, and it's a Build-A-Figure for Starscream. that transforms into a fighter jet.
Oh.
And I think, Paul, don't you have that? Like, didn't you buy like a prototype version of it or something? Or no?
No.
Okay, I'm getting things confused.
No, but you're reminding me that exists, and I was just like, well, I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to build a figure of that.
I really like the Starscream. I dig the...
Yeah, it looks cool.
So there it is as a wing. Flop it on the rest of the way out. It makes kind of old biplane, and I dig it when Transformers transform into old random crap like... is it MMC has like the Secret Trio that make planes like that are cool from the... Was it War Within? No, not War Within, sorry.
Hearts of Steel.
There you
Hearts
go.
of Steel.
Like, that line is a cool line, in my opinion. And we've gotten a couple other, like, there's that red car that's like an older car, from like the 40s or whatever. And then there's another biplane as well. And those are both in the movie lines. I can't remember their names, but,
That was a cool toy. What was that? Rain Sack.
Those were Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah.
One was
Revenge of the Fallen had
red car
cool.
was Hubcap.
There we go.
Yeah.
But back to this. This is awesomely painted, and it's not going to come across on my webcam, but like the whole thing has some sort of finish or paint or both on it, and it's like this. It's not just a flat kind of a dark green or whatever, brownish green, earthy green looking here. It has texture all over it, and it has like variation in the paint, and the details on it painted on, and the guns, and then like the treads. Every bit of it just oozes detail, and it just looks super cool. I ended up being, really keen on it, and it was like $60-$70, something like that. So it's a little pricey for its size. The transformation is not too bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad either. There's definitely worse. There's definitely better. And he makes a cool looking robot. Sorry, I don't have it transformed for our people on. And yeah, Zaldron, you should. I'm looking forward to building the Starscream, provided that Toy World makes some damn progress on it.
Well, so what else do you have to get? You have to get like the Bumblebee,
So now,
like
not
the
all
World War II
colors come
Bumblebee?
with the Build-A-Figure parts. And
What?
Yeah. So
Is it just the green one or the?
I think for Bulldog, it's just the green one that has the Build-A-Figure. But like if you get it from Show Z or eBay, they're gonna have pictures of what it comes with, or you can message them. For the only other one that's out right now is the Bumblebee Mold, which is like transforms into a car, and the purple version has the Build-A-Figure piece. But they've done like yellow and green, and they've done a bunch of colors. The purple is the one that matches the movie the most, like the way he looks in the scene or something, I believe. But don't quote me. I saw the movie once and tried to forget it. You know what I mean?
Take that, Hasbro! Like multiple colorways, and only some have the Build-A-Figure?
Yes.
And it's the purple Bumblebee?
It was the first release of it. And it's the one that's I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be screen accurate, is the ones that's getting the Build-A-Figure. Is I think how they're looking at it. But
It was a night scene.
Yeah.
It was a night scene.
But then there's like they got like a hot rod, and man, I can't even remember the rest of the ones. Like they've announced like here's where the rest of the parts are coming, and all that. But
are they making the submarine? Because that one I'd be interested in.
I don't think so. They are making. You may have seen it, a Megatron that is literally freaking 3 feet long, 2.5 feet long. They showed the prototype at some toy show in not America. And it didn't transform or anything, but they just had, and they're like, it's a Megatron, we really want to do it. And it's like, what? This is a very niche line, and you're going to make that. But they're also doing the triple changers from the Bumblebee movie as triple changers, but I think those are after the Build-A-Figure numbers.
Those look so bad.
I don't.
The shatter is so bad in car mode.
The wheels are dinky. That is the only thing, though. It's not like the rest of it looks bad, and the fact that they made it triple change is impressive.
It's impressive, but it
looks dinky.
It's not 100%.
You were so preoccupied with whether or not you could, you didn't ask if you should.
Well, see, what you do is you just buy a DNA upgrade kit for it that stacks on bigger wheels on the side, right?
That's right.
Throw another $50 at it.
That explains why, because I remember seeing images of that Starscream and I thought I never actually saw that figure go up for pre-order anywhere. I never knew that was a Build-A-Figure.
So on Show Z, you could buy like a couple prototype versions or something of it, and somewhere I got in my head that Paul had saw that and snagged it because that is a Paul thing to grab a Starscream prototype, but it's third party, so it's wavy. But I'll tell you what, Paul,
That's not a Starscream. That's a pile of shit.
the toy looks dope. You're just mad that it's a shitty Build-A-Figure, which I don't disagree.
No,
I hate.
I would have gotten it.
Okay.
I would have gotten it. But like, since it's totally a bunch of stuff that I actually don't care about to have to get, like, I'm just it's not.
I'll tell you what.
It's not a requirement.
Once provided that they actually complete the damn thing, because right now I think they've been occupied with that Prime that they're doing that looks badass. Like, let's not ignore that Prime they're doing that's just now releasing looks amazing.
The Bumblebee one?
The Bumblebee movie one, yeah.
Yeah, I've almost bought that thing several times. I don't collect movie, and I think it looks amazing.
I hate the movies, but I still have a movie collection of toys I think are cool. So, but I'll tell you what, if I do manage to finish the Starscream, I'll bring it to a PF Con or a TF Con if it's ever held in Chicago and actually goes through, and you can at least check it out.
Cool, thank you. I appreciate it.
You know what's going to happen? They're not going to release every part. You're going to be left with like a missing arm.
I wouldn't say that's my guess, but they've been so slow moving on this line and just doing repaints of the two figures they've done, and everything else is like in development. But I don't know. It's some neat looking stuff from like World War II era vehicles, so I don't know. I hope it completes. But if it doesn't, the rest of the toys are still cool, and they fill that weird niche of it's just oddities that I enjoy. So they're pricey for their size though. Like the Bumblebee's like $80, and it's like that big or something. I don't know.
I thought the Bulldog Tank looked cool. We've never had a Transformer that looked like that, and it was an interesting character.
It's a screen character.
Mm-hmm. And so if you fold down that, you can see his little head in there. That's like the original head, but he's got the options too. So no, it's a cool figure. I don't know, just the detail on it's amazing. So I'm down with it.
Yeah, I believe the robot mode is off the concept art because they never showed him in robot mode in the film.
Did they? I thought they did.
I think he transformed at least for a second, but
and all his parts fell off.
No, never transformed.
I'd have to watch again, and I don't want to do that.
Here's the thing: Optimus Prime never transformed in The Last Knight. He never once transformed in that film.
At the end, he did when he rolls out of the smoke, and it's like awesome music playing. Yeah.
Well, he never had a transformation sequence, right?
He had no transformation sequence.
Yeah,
and that's the only time he's in vehicle mode.
I noticed that, and it bugged me that entire movie. I'm like, why are none of the Transformers transforming? They're like vehicle, and then they disappear, and then they're a robot. It's like, this is a Transformers movie. What the?
You know what they should have done? Is had to go like and made a bunch of cubes, and then just like made a liquid, and then just thought like a car came out or something. They should use that.
Well, that's what the dragon dudes did. They just like all jumped into a ball and turned into a fucking 3-headed dragon.
They spent all their money doing that.
Oh man.
It was supposed to be 7 guys that turned into a dragon.
I think it was 13.
We got 13, and then we got two guys that one sat on top of the other.
I thought they released didn't they release a Legends class figure?
That was for the Decepticon version. That was a retooled Abomination. Abominus.
Yeah, from Prime.
Well, I thought it released first as that, and then was retooled into Abominus, or was it the other way around?
Oh. Yeah,
which
it came out for the Prime line.
Either, unfortunately.
You know why? Because we designed the first 2 figures, and then we had to retroactively design the other ones to make them combine. And so we had to figure out, how do we take this toy that we've already released and have it snap into something else to become an arm?
That sounds difficult. Especially with like small figures like that. You don't get a lot of play in them. But
it is what it is.
All right, so back to Michael.
All right. I got me a cinnamon flavored Optimus Primal. I this came in. It hit my pile of loot like his leg just decided to fold in half. It hit my pile of loot like in the early June, but then I didn't ship it out until like last week. So it got here like over the weekend. But I love this toy so much. I love every single version of this. I want them to make a clear one. I want them to make a universe colors one. I want them to just keep releasing this thing, and I'll buy it until the mold
you are
is
a Beast Wars
destroyed.
fan. I mean, you haven't been on the show for a while, so let us put a disclaimer that you are a Beast Wars fan.
Yes, I'm a very big Beast Wars fan.
That's a Predacon logo behind him, I think, on his wall. So
do you want do you want a T-Rex out of the Megatron?
100%. And I will buy it for upwards of $300, and I won't complain about it.
What about a Grimlock out of Dinobot?
100%.
I would really
I'm
like that.
too.
I would open that because it's Grimlock.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
It'd be a little because Dinobot is so just like his cartoon model. It'll be a little weird to see that in those same colors, but I'm all for it. Like they could give it maybe a different head. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking even the switch the Dinobot head.
It's one of those.
You know what was crazy? That was actually G1 Grimlock. If you read the bio on the back of the packaging, they actually say it's the original Grimlock. I feel like there's and he's just
some of the fiction we got did that. Like I don't know if it was like the club
that
did it with like classics or something, or like one of the like Foreman.
I think it was Dreamwave.
Furman series did it.
No, IDW. It was early IDW.
They did the 2 4-issues.
He is. Well, there was two 6-issue runs.
They were. Okay.
Yeah, and it was the original Grimlock there as well.
Yeah,
what's crazy about Beast Wars is that every show and every comic book, either by Dreamwave or IDW, have all taken place in the same continuity. You gonna fight me on this?
I'm just saying. I mean, I guess did all the club stuff or the early BotCon stuff, all that's in the same continuity too, or at least tries to be, right?
That it tries to pick up from Beast Machines.
Well, there's early stuff that's weaved into it, like the Pack Rat and Fractal stuff. That happens during Beast Wars, doesn't it?
That's Beast Machines,
Is it?
I think. Oh yeah. It's Beast Wars, but yeah, that's.
And then gets into Universe
stuff
and Wreckers, which is post, but
that's just weird.
Yeah.
But that's not labeled Beast Wars, so.
Mm. Maybe it's just because it was such a, it came later and that's just how it is versus G1, which has a lot of stuff that branches off from it. And then you got like the Japanese G1 stuff, or all the Japanese random little lines that everything is G1. Like Alternity, G1. Kiss Players, G1. Binaltech, G1. None of it makes any sense.
The original RID was put into the G1 timeline.
Really?
Yeah, at one point there was a timeline released by Cara that had it as part of the G1 timeline.
I remember that. Every single line was G1, and like, how do you explain that? That you had Star Convoy, and then he came back, and he became a fire truck, and
you squint a lot.
He's got a holographic little girl and thigh highs with him now. It's like,
Yeah, back to the original thing that branched that. You're talking about Grimlock as a Dinobot repaint. I think that the reason that's weird is because in the cartoon, Dinobot was so far off the toy. It was just so different. But Grimlock was drawn like his toy. The future. He's
so very different, but I don't know how feasible it would be, or if they would even try to do it. But just a little bit of retooling, maybe on the dinosaur head, and try to do something maybe close to how he looked in the IDW comic. and you could pull it off.
Yeah.
Wait. Are you thinking I mean the like G1 version of Grimlock?
No.
I mean the Beast Wars, the black.
Yeah, I mean the Beast
black
Wars
and white one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
All
saying because Dinobot's like Velociraptor mode is just so unique. Painting it up like that it's gonna look like Dinobot painted up as Grimlock. But I'm like, if they change his dinosaur head just a little bit to make it maybe a little more toy looking, as well as give him a different robot mode head, I could see it working that way. Just because the expressions on that dinosaur head are just so ingrained in my mind as that's Dinobot.
Yeah. All right.
But I'd buy it. $275, $250, give it to me.
I'd buy that too.
So, rather than what you would buy, what did you buy, Paul?
I picked up this rather... I was hemming and hawing for a long time, and then there was like this sale on Entertainment Earth, and I got the last one of this. And it is the Cara Curry Optimus Prime action figure, which it's Flame Toys. This is like, if you've seen the Tarn toy, this is like the Optimus Prime version of that quality of toy. And I gotta say, I am thoroughly impressed with this thing.
It looks like pretty badass.
You know, it's kind of like I don't know how Flame Toys gets away with making all these here's an Optimus Prime in a way you've never seen it before. Here you go. And like this is like Barbarian Warrior Optimus Prime.
It's freaking cool. I love the because it's got like the anime or the animated fire axe, and they sort of like incorporate a bunch of different stuff.
I love the detail on it.
Yeah, it's got the movie swords. Wow, that's pretty cool.
I think you accidentally muted yourself, Paul.
Paul, what did you pay for that?
Well, so I ended up getting this for about $313,
Ouch.
Which is a lot. That's ouchie. But this is typically like a retail, like $525.
Like
these things are expensive.
Okay.
They're
diecast.
There is all sorts of material on this thing, and I'll tell you what, it even has this. I'll take the sword off. Like it has this like wing sort of jetpack attachment. I think to sort of represent the jetpack part of Optimus Prime. And it's cool how the gun like slides in there, and it has like this. I don't know if you can see it. Like you can see it like springs back.
It covers it up.
Cover up the hole.
It's magic.
And I'll tell you what, the hardest thing about this thing was getting that backpack attached. There's like 2 friction joints that attach it to the back, and the gun totally transforms.
You just got aroused.
Yeah, like it's just they pulled out all the stops of this thing. It's cool.
Well, because I think they some people have called it like IDW Optimus, but it's not quite. But the IDW Optimus, because I grabbed my the model kit. It's got those same like wings.
Yeah.
So that's a very IDW feature.
Well, I mean that animated, he got a jetpack, and Power Master Prime had wings. The wings go back quite a bit at this point. It's becoming more and more normal.
I've wanted to buy that. I can't justify it. Like I have nothing against non-transformable toys, right? But $500 non-transformable toy, I'm just like I can't do it.
I get
it's
it.
Like a statue. It's like buying a statue.
No, it's much more than a statue.
This is like a Hot Toys Transformer that doesn't transform. I mean, the quality on this blows my mind. Because I agree with you, Mike. I think it is hard to spend that much money on something like this. But and
you also got it for $300.
All the times that
$500.
I got it for pretty cheap.
I might dive on. I would definitely buy it for $300.
mean, there's all sorts of bells and whistles. This is not a review show, so like I think I've kind of made my point and I've told you what it costs. It's really cool.
But does the chest open up?
It's weird. Like the windows open up. The windows open up there, and there is something in there, right? I think there's a matrix you can take out, but like,
it looks complicated.
Yeah, of course. Everything on this thing is complicated.
Can you play with the articulation a little bit? Like, how far can he get get those dynamic, like, get his knees up to his chest and, like, bend his elbows and stuff, just at a...
Oh, I mean, it's got an amazing amount of
that's awesome.
Ability to do stuff. The posability is wild. And there's a bunch of fists and all that stuff.
I know they saw him basically crunching all the way over.
Yeah, it can, it's got an ab crunch to an extent. I don't push the limits of articulation when I get these things. I kind of find a pose I like, and I'm like, damn, and I just like looking at the thing. I have to mention though, I broke the stand like right away because it's like made of shitty plastic when you compare it to what this is made of.
So funny they cheaped out on.
And so like it's just like this one part, and it's like. There's just like a weak area, and it looks like it spins, and it's hard to tell. So to get it to spin, you have to like undo. Like it like rotates, like the peg rotates, but it locks in. So to do it, you have to dismantle it and then turn it to where the angle you want, and then plug it back in. And I just tried to turn it because I couldn't tell if it was friction or not. And the instructions tell you. But it's my fault. Like so I'm not blaming Flames Toys.
But
oh yeah, but I mean I'm not the only dude that's gonna do this. That's for sure.
Someone has to do it once and tell everyone else about it.
Thanks, Paul.
Right.
You've warned us.
But I'm not the dude that's gonna go into Cybertron Cafe and be like, I need a refund because I broke my toy. Like they never. The part that those people never tell you is that they fat fingered the fuck out of their toy and broke it. Like, it came out of the box like that. Oh, sure, yeah. Sure
and I've mentioned this to Paul. I don't know if I mentioned on the show before, but, like, if you're not understanding why these things are so much, I had the pleasure of going to their booth at the last TFCon that was in Chicago, like, last year, and they had Tarn out, and, they were trying to push sales. They're like, pick it up. I was like, all right. You told me to. Otherwise I wasn't going to touch your $400 pre-order. They are amazing.
That turn though so cool.
It is so cool. I mean, it was so tempting.
I'm sitting here looking at this Optimus right now, and I just want to hit buy so bad. I have a question. Do the wheels on the back of his leg roll?
If those wheels don't roll, then it's not worth it.
They seem like they might, but I just
you're not going to force it. They're not easily rolling.
I'm like, I'm trying to be on camera, and like I'm not going to mess with it with my weight over here and break another part of this $500 toy. I'm hoping that I can get the part replaced because it's cheap. It's just like this piece of plastic that's like maybe this big. And I reached out to Flame Toys via Instagram, but I don't know if they.
You never know.
Will read. I don't think they're not required to fix this for me. I never think a manufacturer is like required to do that, but I'm gonna at least see if I can easily fix it. I doubt I can. So I'm not. I mean, it's amazing standing here. Yeah, it's just incredible standing here. I don't need it to like.
It looks amazing.
I don't need it to reach up like it's dunking a goddamn basketball. Like the stand is almost like unnecessary, but you can get some cool poses if you get it to work. Because I think the attachment is right up his butt there, like where my finger is.
You're just going to do the classic anime, like
pelvic thrust.
Forward thrusted hips.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, I kind of just made sure I had all the accessories on him. And just the fact that he has this giant sword along with the two flame swords is just outrageous. Yeah. And you can attach
the Star Saber.
Yeah, it's got the Matrix hilt.
Yeah.
And there's one more accessory that I don't have, and I didn't realize. There's a exclusive release version of this that has a giant like War for Cybertron axe. That's beyond the small like animated axe. Wow. So I love it. I mean, I'm not getting every Cara Curry toy, but if they make one of these and another character I usually get, I'm definitely getting it. Like no hands down. I'm just gonna grab it. Like I've been on the fence with the Tarn for a long time, and this was since I collect Optimus, I was like, well, I'll get this, and then I'll like serve the need for the Tarn. You know, like I don't need to get Tarn, but I'm just like, wow, if it's this cool, that's awesome.
I don't know, I just think you got your first hit, and 6 months from now you're gonna have them all.
Yeah.
No, I won't. I might get the Megatron though, because they're doing the IDW Stealth Bomber Megatron.
That's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, if it's as cool as
everything they do,
it's
is
definitely
dope.
as cool as this.
The prototypes look really cool.
Yeah.
All right, so
it's a whole nother level from the model kits.
yeah, well, the $20 Red Series is just as good.
It might be.
All right, Rick.
It won't be, but hopefully.
So are we starting to wrap things? Was that your big, thing, Paul? That's pretty impressive, man.
It was cool, but no.
We might do one.
Oh,
we might do one more quick round after this round.
We have been padding our discussion quite a bit.
Oh, okay. Well, goddamn. You know what? I'll just go real quick then to move it along. I got some more train bots.
Oh, nice. Are those sealed?
Are those ones sealed?
No, these aren't sealed. The sealed one's coming later.
How are you supposed to cut the tape if they aren't sealed?
Oh, these ones you don't cut the tape, my dear Michael. My beautiful, sweet Michael. You don't cut the tape on these.
So did you get those?
These ones you put them in the glass shelf and you look at them.
Did you get those off of eBay, or did you get them through a buddy, or?
I got them from a friend. They were So I got these 3. I need to get the other 3 to have the whole set in that particular style box. That set me back quite a bit.
Yeah, I bet.
Those guys.
Well, those are hard to find.
Yeah, he gave me a good price.
But it's still not cheap.
What he paid for them a few years ago, but yeah, it was. Yeah, it's been a while since I spent that much money.
You know, it's a lot when you can't get Rick to name a prize.
Well, so those were
That'd
from
be
someone's.
incriminating.
Were those were from a friend's collection? And he was ready to move on. Those look really high quality.
Yeah, he actually got the gift set.
Oh.
He was trying to complete the. I don't have the gift set. I have the junior gift set. I actually have that sealed.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's super rare.
Yeah, so I don't actually have a Raiden gift set. But he got the gift set, so he's like, instead of trying to complete these, I'm just going to pass them on to you for what I paid for them. So
nice.
I appreciate it.
I would say it's good timing getting a hold of those before the masterpiece Raiden gets like even revealed.
If it gets
because
revealed.
once that whenever like an old ass character gets like, hey, here he is again in a cool way, like the old ones suddenly get desirable because people want a character collect or like show the lineage, and so those will shoot up. So if you can find the other 3 before that event occurs, that would be great.
By the way, talking about cutting the tape on vintage G1 stuff, I cut the tape on Victory Saber or Star Saber and Victory Leo. No regrets.
Nice.
Nice. Now
I cut the tape on a Grand Max and a Overlord. No regrets.
Hell yeah.
No regrets.
Now I
stickered them.
Straight ballers.
I didn't cut the tape, but I had the big powered gift set, and I took the stickers from it and put them on. Don't do that. Like 30-year-old stickers are no longer sticky once you unpeel them from the tape, and they fall off all the damn time. So when I cut the tape on Star Saber and Victory Leo, I had already learned that lesson, so I used repro labels on them, and so I still have the sticker sheets, unapplied.
Nice.
But just because I knew they wouldn't stick. Like they're not gonna stick at all. So. And if you ever want to resell, you can gone the stickers off. No big deal. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Well, I have nothing. So back to
Michael.
And this will probably be our last round. We've been going about 5 minutes.
Yeah. So I'm going.
Legends.
I bought some Beast Wars Legends. So it's the Transform Element Mice Warrior, aka Rat Trap, and then Toy World. What is he called? Just Beast General or Transmetals Megatron. They're both okay.
That's about how Anna was with the Rat Trap.
I don't hate. I feel like I don't dislike it as much as she does, but there are some weird things about the transformation. I feel like this with a lot of third-party figures I buy, and that there's just things that Hasbro wouldn't do with a transformation, and there's probably a good reason why Hasbro wouldn't do them with the transformation.
Unnecessary steps.
Yeah, or just like weird ways to solve a problem that mostly just comes off as something annoying. Like his tail in the back is like on this swivel that swivels around to transform and then presses in. But it's really annoying to get back out once it's pressed in. Like you have to go up from underneath it and push it up. It's just like I'm gonna break this at some point. I gotta now open him up and gut him like he's a freaking fish fillet to get his tail back out.
It definitely, given the fact that from this back view there, he still just has a rat hanging off of it, it feels unnecessary to make it that complete.
Yeah.
Like, what's it buying
I'm still waiting for the perfect rat trap. I think this is a really good looking rat trap. Don't get me wrong. It looks good. I don't know where it fits size. I mean, it fits with the Legends size wise, but he's a little too big. It's a lot better than their Black Widow. Their
that was the first
Black
one.
Arachnia. Yeah, because Black Arachnia part formed, and that kind of sucked. And he at least doesn't part form.
I mean, I think it's understandable, especially for Black Arachnia. I mean, the Masterpiece one doesn't parts form, and the Spider Mode could probably be improved by having a couple of shells or something.
Yeah,
but
it's pretty awful.
I actually overall quite like it, but I admit it, that could be better, obviously.
So,
I didn't
Michael,
have fun transforming it. It's not fun to transform.
If you could only have one Masterpiece rat trap, which would it be, regular or transmetal?
Oh, I mean, I would probably go with the regular.
Regular.
I'm all for transmetal, man.
Well, you gotta get the S1 cast done first. So, are you gonna get the Scorponok they got coming out?
Yeah.
I think it's awesome they're doing Scorponok because, Scorponok and Pterosaur were, spoiler alert, very unceremoniously killed off with almost no acknowledgement. They're like, we're done with those toys and characters. Kill them.
No, they were remembered very briefly by McDonald's.
Yeah, they were supposed to come back as transmetal.
Really?
Yeah, they were supposed to. Yeah, when you see
Pterosaur does have a transmetal.
When you see his hand
awesome
into the lava, his hand is glowing, becoming a transmetal. So they were supposed to come back. They just never got to it in the show.
Yeah, in IDW fiction and like in the bio book, I think they have them in there, and they're just like, they're transmetals stuck down in the lava.
We're too heavy to escape. Damn it.
This guy sucks though.
Oh wow, just flat out.
That's the one I want.
Bummer.
He transforms exactly like Megatron, except for he's really loose.
He broke at the waist already.
Not yet.
Then he's not like the original.
The plastic color's wrong for the brown parts. It's like it's purple. Or it's like a light, like magenta or something like that. It's wrong. And transforming it wasn't fun. Some parts just don't like to fit around each other. But it transforms basically identically to the original. But it's not as easy to do.
So with those glowing reviews, you cannot pick those up at any online retailer.
They won't be sponsoring our show.
That is the moral of my story today. Just buy the Masterpiece Optimus because he's good.
I'll take that advice.
Yeah. I almost want to get just the Scorponok, having not bought anything else, because I feel again Scorponok and Pterosaur are pretty much forgotten because how quickly they're kind of there and they're gone, and I don't. Never say never, but I think it's highly unlikely that Cara is going to get around to a Masterpiece Scorponok from Season 1. Especially anytime soon. I mean, I want to be wrong, but...
Yeah. I can definitely see him doing Transmetal Rat Trap first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good news though is that if they do a Scorponok, you got some BotCon repaints and stuff like Rodimus Supreme was mentioning. You got the Sandstorm repaint. Didn't they have a Japanese BotCon repaint too? That's in red.
Double
punch.
Double punch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I was going to say double dealer, and I'm like, that's not right. It's double punch.
They'll put them out in double dealer colors anyway.
I have both of those back there.
And then they'll put them out in G1 Scorponok colors. Just
move my head out of the way. I think you can kind of see maybe my Sandstorms back there in the box.
Oh yeah,
I see.
Look at all.
That was one of the better boxes.
Mine's unfortunately a little damaged, but you get what
Mine's
you get.
on a shelf in the garage. the box is the toys on the shelf in here, but
Box Mountain.
Yep, it's in Box Mountain. And if you ever want those Japanese BotCon Beast Wars toys, you have to meet a Souza at a BotCon, provided he's able, or a TFCon.
I'm pretty sure that's where I bought it.
That's where everybody got one. Because every year he shows up, and I swear he has like 100 of those tucked away in his hotel room, and he'll bring like 3 to the floor in the morning and sell them, and then like an hour later, 3 or 4 more will show up, and like he keeps like this limited supply, and he's done it for a decade. I swear.
Yeah, I bought my. I'm pretty sure I bought my double dealer or my double punch and Grizzly One Barbarian. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember a buddy of ours, Will. Like he had gotten it from him at one point in the day. He's like, "Yeah, I got them both," and it was like they were either $100 each or $150 for the pair or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Awesome!" And he's like, "Oh, he's sold out." I was like, "Oh," and then you go in the next morning and there they are. And there's like 10 people there all buying just that. And that's what he brought out for the morning stock. And it's just every year he's got a few more.
You can never pin him down.
Well, it's like Paul was saying earlier with his weird magazine with the little, I think they know that that's exclusive to their country. They buy up a bunch of it, and then just slowly sell it off throughout the years because it's the definition of collectible.
Yeah, that stuff's hard. I mean, that stuff's
hard to get.
The reason it was on Amazon Japan. You could buy the magazine and it comes with the toy. And I don't remember what I paid for it. I don't remember if it's still available, but it was like whatever it costs, I don't care because I'm going to buy it now, and this is the cheapest I'll ever get it because if they ever that could be $100 in 3 months. Who knows? Even though it's just a stupid black Megatron.
Yeah, like a lot of those Arms Microns did that.
Oh my god.
I am so glad I am not interested in collecting those because that is a deep hole. Like we were talking about variations and
that's
stuff.
That's a deep hole.
But that's like
I'm right there with you.
I got a bunch of those ones that come with the little CDs in them. And it's like one figure, and like one figure is like $500, $800 for like one mini con figure.
Yep, love that. I just love this knowing someone is willing to pay that for this.
It's only worth what someone's willing to pay, man.
Agreed.
At least the Megatron doesn't look like crap. That Prime is just hot garbage, and that Deco is even more hot garbage.
I think it's actually just a repack of an old version, but there might be like some minor difference.
It's got slightly darker yellow headlights.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so Paul.
Yeah. All right.
So this is probably it. So
what's
Hit
up?
me with the thunder, man. Hit me with the thunder. What you got?
You guys know there's some stuff coming out soon, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff coming out soon.
There is. So I got Gigawatt. No, I'm kidding. But I got this boy.
Oh, nice.
It's MPM 10, boy.
How much does it suck?
Oh my god, it's amazing. This is great. Like people are like, oh, it looks just like the leader. Well, it may look similar from a size perspective, but it's you got to buy your ticket to Pound Town because
characters
this is a totally
based on the same
toy.
characters look the same.
What? Like, oh my god, it looks like Starscream. Wow,
That's revolutionary.
What's very novel here is that this one actually comes like this. The boosters are in it, and they all tuck away in jet mode. Mm-hmm. The transformation is super cool.
Is the transformation new?
Compared
to the old figures?
There's like some elements of almost all of them. Like even the Revenge of the Fallen one, which is probably one of the weaker ones. It has like the scissor sort of thing where the jet
is that the leader we're talking about?
Breaks apart. No, I'm talking about the second Voyager.
Okay, I no longer remember.
That was the weaker one.
You almost like scissor it apart and pull it back together, accordion it around. It sort of has some vibe like that. But like I don't know if you saw the commercial, the stop motion animation commercial they made for this, but like just the amount of weird articulation that this thing has kind of blows my mind. Like you can, it actually has like
points?
Butterfly arms.
I mean, there's so many moving parts to him in the movies.
And
does he have automorph technology?
Oof, I hope not.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I had somebody of those explode internally on me when I was going to transform them just to sell them. And I was like, oh.
That's why when I list stuff on eBay, it's in whatever mode it was on my shelf, and I just wrap it in bubble wrap and mail it. I'm like, I'm not going to transform it because the toy's been sitting there for 10 years. You never know how something's decayed.
That's a good point. There is some die cast on here, like this kind of like bottom of the foot.
Yeah.
Is die cast, and the top section of his shoulder here is die cast as well.
Okay.
So there's 4 die cast parts as far as I can see.
All right. So just to hedge a little bias here, is there any way they could have done NPM Starscream and you not love it?
Oh, I wouldn't. I mean, I hate the movie Starscream design.
Okay.
Just I think it's stupid, but the benefits of it are that it is so weird and unique that it forced the designers to like rethink how to make a Transformer. And I love looking at how different each iteration of the toy has been, and like kind of around. I think once they did the Dark of the Moon, I actually brought all these out just for fun.
The leader one.
No, the leader one was awesome. It was close. This is an improvement.
That's the Starscream I still have as the leader, and I've been wondering like, should I upgrade it or change out?
This deluxe one was like where they finally kind of got it right, I think. And this was like after the leader one. And then the Voyager Studio series is quite good as well, in my opinion. Like it does interesting things. It has the weird chicken legs and everything. But this is the culmination of 13 years of having to deal with this stupid ass design.
They finally perfected the Dorito.
I kind of want to get one to go with my Ironhide.
Wasn't Ironhide the worst of the movie masterpiece ones?
So since
it's probably the most hated. I got mine for $50 though, so I have nothing to complain about.
All right, so Paul's arm's getting tired. What are you showing us?
This is the 3A Starscream. So this is like this is a non-transforming.
It doesn't transform.
It doesn't transform. But so it looks this is like the highest quality like of this design that exists is the 3A. And this is the toy next to it. And I think they're pretty awesome, pretty closely matched.
I don't know, man.
I'm completely different.
The masterpiece looks really good, but that 3A figure looks pretty amazing.
Well, yeah. I mean, the 3A figure is definitely amazing, but that's the only thing I know that's bigger than this. So
how is that?
I'm looking forward to this.
On that guy, I'm not familiar enough with the finer points to be like, oh, they nailed it, or like the Bumblebee movie NPM was like way off. For example.
Oh, it's awful.
Well, that's because they used a different design. Yeah. I think this is the best Starscream from the movies that has ever existed, and I thought that I keep thinking that every time they do it better, like they haven't really regressed. Because this is a very difficult design to get right.
Yeah.
Is the transformation annoying, or is it?
I don't have any instructions, so the first time I did it from jet to robot, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is impossible." And then I did it again, and I did it in like 2 minutes. So it's just another one of those things where like, wow, the first time you do it, it's complicated, but then you understand the puzzle. So I liked it. I liked it because there's some really weird things. Like there's a joint that locks in that keeps the shoulders in place, and it's on a hinge, and then it like slides in, and if you don't undo the hinge, it doesn't work. And I've just never seen that on a Transformer before. So that was kind of cool.
So I was curious, because I said I've been thinking about this and switching out my old Leader one, which is a great toy. And so I was like, well, I'll hit up Amazon Japan and see how much it is there. And it's listed as movie series Star Space Cream.
Cream.
If you want some Star Cream, you can get the hookup.
I think the Japanese one might be easier to get than the Target exclusive. With the way things have been going this year,
it's coming out as a Target exclusive.
Yeah, I just think it might be easier to get it from Japan.
Just do it. Just always buy it from Japan. If you're buying your masterpieces locally, domestically, you're paying too much for them.
More than
you can. And if you're like, oh, but shipping internationally is so expensive, you're still spending less shipping internationally.
And if you're
as someone who buys internationally all the time, you're wasting your money buying domestically on that stuff.
Well, I mean, especially Amazon.
Well,
Japan,
that might change.
Where right now shipping is free, and they've usually been like, it changed with RC and Tigertron though. Like all of a sudden, Amazon Japan wasn't for sure the cheapest by like 30%. So I don't know if those days are gone, but it's like $140 off Amazon Japan. Is that what it is from Target, or do we have a price from the Target yet?
It's a price from Target, but there's no listing yet, which is even scarier. Because like you can pre-order MPM 11 Ratchet right now, but Starscream like does not exist. So, anyways, that toy's not out yet. That is a super secret PF special, so I thought I would show it off.
That is cool. I definitely will get one. So we'll end the night with this.
Please.
Drum roll.
Hold on a second. I got no.
Wait. No, I got Netflix Mirage. That's way better.
Oh, Mirage. You got Mirage.
This is like that Monty Python thing where the guy's running up,
So I'm going to tell a quick story about this before we end the show. I didn't always get along with my dad. My dad was really in my life that whole much. But on my 6th birthday, he took me to Toys R Us, and he let me pick out whichever toy I wanted. And I picked out a character. And he said, "You sure you want that?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, at least it's an army vehicle."
He was bullying you about the Transformer pick.
Yes. So I had to. I found this. This is actually a lot cheaper than the Trainbots, but it has more sentimental value. So
and it's sealed, right?
It's sealed.
Ooh,
that's an obscure character.
Yeah, boy.
So
where'd you get it?
A buddy. He's slimming down his collection, and like, you know what?
It's sealed Hound for audio listeners.
Sealed G1 Hound with the gray border. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You're muted, Paul.
Sentimental reasons.
Please extrapolate on gray border for those of us that aren't full of crust.
You mean you didn't read my book? So the gray border.
Wait, you have a book?
He's got a couple books.
Thanks. So the gray
your name's
border.
Rick?
Yeah. Right here, you see this where I'm pointing my finger for the audio listeners. See where I'm pointing?
Mm-hmm.
The first release of '84 didn't have this gray border. So this is a late '84, early '85 release. As far as I can tell from looking inside the box, there's no rub sign on it. So it's in between that stage from the first release with the no rub sign to the later release with the rub sign, but it does have the gray border. 1,000,001 variations on G1, man.
Especially if you count packaging, like if you got sealed samples.
Yeah.
That's a great toy. I never had Hound. I've actually never really messed with the G1 Hound, so it's cool to see.
It's a brick.
Yeah, but I mean, Hound's like, I don't know, B. Would you say B or C level? I don't know at this point.
I'd say he's tier C.
I'd put him at B. I mean, because he's in that initial like '84 cast, and
yeah, but I mean, he didn't really go anywhere. He's barely in season 2, right? So
most of them.
I love Hound. He's my favorite Autobot from G1.
I mean,
I actually, you remember when they did that Prime vote, right? Like who would be the next Prime, and Optimus Primal won.
Oh.
I voted for Hound.
oh, the Beast Wars guy voted for Hound.
You were the guy that swung the vote.
Nice.
I mean, as far as like G1 toys go, I think it has a good looking silhouette in robot mode. Like you're saying, it's a brick, which I'm not going to disagree, but it has a good looking silhouette. It's not kind of derpy like Ironhide and Ratchet are, pretty freaking terrible.
Well,
G1
at least
toys.
their arms move. Hound just kind of stands there.
But he looks good.
his arms
He looks
get-
good doing it, which is about all you can get from G1 toys. But he has a lot of parts.
He has parts. Yes, and he's got like so many things that just break on the G1 toy, especially the rear view mirrors, the side mirrors.
Yeah, and he's,
So
like, if you're buying that loose, like I have the reissue from the TFC line from back in the early 2000s.
Don't do it.
Oh, Rick has extended the knife.
Don't
he's not
do
gonna
it.
do
Is there
I'm not gonna.
fudge?
No.
I mean,
There's not even a flap crease on that thing.
I didn't even notice.
It didn't
Yeah,
look like
there is
there
a-
was. Yeah.
there is
Oh
a-
my god.
Oh, there's
a crease.
a little bit.
there's a crease.
It's weird how some of
It's
you
not
can see it
terrible,
on
though.
camera. But
Yeah,
like,
you can see it on.
that's not a real flap crease. That's not like
No.
Walmart.
See
Walmart
that-
didn't
yeah.
ship that to you.
Oh,
If
No.
Walmart shipped, they would have folded it in half long ways.
that's right.
That's really cool, Rick.
That's awesome.
That's a you don't see that every day.
More of a sentimental
Yeah.
thing. So
All right. Well, anybody have any final parts or final thoughts? Parts with that. Final thoughts before we wrap up here?
All hail Starscream, man.
Yeah, that looks cool. You might have sold me on it. I'm gonna have to get down my leader and fiddle with it tonight and see if I want to switch it out or not. See if I'm done with it.
I might have to fiddle with some stuff too.
All right, that's TFYLP after dark, like way after dark.
It's pretty late where we are.
All right, well.
Yeah, it's 11 p.m. where I am.
All right, well, so thank you everyone for tuning in. Thanks for everybody joining us in the chat. We have shout outs to Rodimus and Esquire and Zaldron, and I saw some. Esquire was a new name for me, I believe, and there's some other new ones. Brian Tucker joined in. Bloodstorm showed up for a little while. So,
Oh, that's me.
oh,
Brian Tucker was a college friend of mine that asked me a Transformers question. I was like, why don't you come watch the podcast?
oh,
dude?"
that's awesome.
Hey, Paul, you don't have this figure, do you?
I don't have drink and
this is-
play strong arm. No.
This is a bottle of apple juice, and it's got a little pod inside of a figure in it. But this was the only one I was able to find, and it was on clearance. So I don't know what the figure inside looks like.
You need to flex that on Nick G.
I was just thinking that.
Next time you
Tell
see
Nick
him.
that you have that, and he'll immediately explode. Just.
If he hasn't already.
Yeah. He'll explode again. But yeah, thanks for joining into the show. Make sure to tune into our next thing is going to be Cut the Tape on YouTube. It's a pre-recorded segment with Rick. And then usually there's our news show, which is mainly intended for audio, but we put it on YouTube as well, coming out Sunday nights, usually. The main show is on Monday night here on YouTube, and then TFLP, and then, of course, Microcasters on Facebook on Tuesday nights. So make sure to tune into all of our content as part of the TF Talk Network. And if you like what we do, check us out at Patreon at patreon.com/TFYLP. Make sure to hit us up on Discord. We are always there and chatting. We chat there quite a bit. Links in the description below. And, of course, we're on Facebook as well. We got a Facebook group. If you want to ask questions or need any links, we're there. We're accessible. You can also even hit us up on email if you're a grandpa. What's that email address, Paul?
Well, in all reality, each show has their own email address. So cut the tape at tftalk.net, microcasters at tftalk.net, tftalknews at tftalk.net, and tfylp at tftalk.net. Lawson Bumblebee!
But no, ouch my wallet, apparently.
This This
But
will
you
be
didn't
on
want
Cut
it.
the Tape.
No, I don't.
You're gonna open that,
Oh, I have two. So yeah, I'm gonna open this one.
dude. That's
Did
a rare. That's a rare.
Did you
toy.
need one?
No. I appreciate the toy. It's
Oh.
awesome.
Yeah, I have
Well-
one that's like mint. This one's got like scratches on it. So I'm gonna open this.
Well, cut that tape.
We're gonna cut this tape.
We're also gonna cut the show. So thanks everybody,
No.
and hopefully we'll see you in 2 weeks if people get some shit and stuff actually gets in. But we'll see. If not, we'll see you in one of our other billion shows.
I'll be back.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.